then Eric shared some video that you can use to kind of like set up properly. Yeah, to complement on the links that we shared we shared last time. Yeah. Okay. To get started, I would like to share maybe another resource that I think it's called the Python tutorial. Yeah. Yeah. It's like the official documentation of the Python language, the one that is done by the developer team. You just kind of like come here and select the version you have installed, yeah, so that you can be able to follow correctly. Yeah, I'll share this link also in the I'll share the link in the docs. Yeah. All right, so to get started, yeah, basically today we're just going to look at the basics, and I'm going to try so much to relate to what you already know, which is JavaScript. Yeah, so I'll kind of like relate most of my my examples from there, because since you know one programming language, yeah, it is not like we are starting from scratch. So I'll kind of like just try to relate slowly by slowly. Yeah. Okay, one thing you should know, let me try to kind of like set up let me try to I'm trying to set up my Visual Studio Code. Okay. It may take a little bit of time. Okay. Please feel free to ask any questions in case you're having any issues following up. Yes, so this is my Visual Studio Code. Hope everyone can see it. Can you all see my Visual Studio Code?
I can.
All right. If Eric can, then everyone can. All right. So basically, I'm going to just open an empty folder. Okay. This empty folder is here. Okay. Yeah. So that is my empty folder, and I'm gonna try to pull out the terminal here. Yeah, hope everyone can see the font in the terminal here. Can we see the font? Eric, is the font clear?
It's quite small.
It's quite small.
Yeah.
Okay. What about there?
Let me see. Yeah, I can see it.
Now it's okay.
Now it's okay.
Okay, let me just increase one more time. What about there?
Perfect.
All right. Yeah, so just like I told you, it is always good practice to start by creating a virtual environment where you should work from. So since I have Python 3.8, yeah, it's what I'll use to create my virtual environment. And this time around, I just call it the same name, but you can call it anything you want. Then afterwards, I'll have to activate it. Eric tells me if at all you're on Windows, instead of bin, you just use, is it scripts, not so?
Yes, with capital S.
With capital S, eh?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. For Linux, we use bin instead. Yeah. So I'm going to create a simple file. I'll use touch.py. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, to start with, I'll just have to tell you. Okay, I'll start with comments. Yeah, that hash kind of like works for if at all you want to include comments in your Python. And I'll just have to say that Python, everything in Python actually is an object. Yeah, everything is an object. Everything is an object. And I very much know you know what objects are. Yeah. Yes, since I see you have come in. Anyone to give us a refresher about objects, what they think objects are? Someone that has not said anything. Yeah. Anyone? Any takers? You can just type it inside here. Yeah. What you understand by objects? What you understand by objects? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but basically, in Python's view, everything is an object, and this kind of like makes our work a little bit easier. Basically, objects have IDs, they have types, and they have the value. The value is actually what is stored. The ID uniquely identifies it, and the type now like I can try to print maybe I have this string of mine. I can try to print its type using, of course, okay, using a method called type. Yeah. So to run this, I'll use Python, and then the name of the script. Yeah. My VS Code is on autosave. That's why it's that everything is running. Yeah, but what you can see here is that the type has been printed out as class str. So it is a what? It is a string class. Yeah. So like I said, everything in Python is an object. Yeah, and an object usually has an ID, the type, and the what, and the value. Yeah. Then we go ahead to maybe so I'll put in bracket here. So the three features are the ID, the type, and the value. The value is what it actually stores. If I don't want to find the ID, again there is a function like this that gives you actually the ID, its ID in memory. Yeah. Okay, going on to variables. Yeah. I know most of you in JavaScript you have I think you use the let keyword. Then you can either use let all const to kind of like define variables in JavaScript, but in Python maybe you can just type the name of the variable or the variable name, and then maybe you give it something. You give it the value. Yeah. So printing this, printing name. Yeah. So when you print name, you get something, of course. If you try to comment out name, let me see what you get. Yeah, you get actually a name error in that it is telling you that name is not what defined. Yeah. If at all maybe you don't want to define name right away, maybe you can give it a value of this keyword none. Yeah, you can give it this value of none, and it will stop shouting at you. Yeah. For whatever reason, I don't know why you could use it, but yeah, depending on the use case. Yes. There is a concept maybe that you'll keep on seeing on and on. It's called a namespace. Basically, from my understanding, namespaces, as in, it's like it's kind of like a space in Python, or an ecosystem in Python, whereby the names, or the variable names you create, they are actually matched to what? To the actual, they actually pointed to the actual objects that they represent. Yes, exactly. So it is done in a namespace, and you will see we shall use a lot of dot notation to kind of like transverse through namespaces, and yeah, I think, yeah, we shall see more about that. Yeah, but when you hear about something called namespaces, just think about a place, or kind of like, yeah, like a place whereby the variable names are actually pointed to the what the the objects they represent. Now, like if I tell, I come back here and say, okay, name is equals to maybe Tom. Yeah, so this name here, at first here, it was pointing to an object that has a value of none. But by line 6, it will be pointing to an object that has a value of what? Of Tom. Yeah. So by line 6, none no longer exists. It is the value of the variable name. The variable name is pointing to a new object called Tom. Yeah. Hope you actually get what I'm talking about there. Yeah, but if at all you have any questions, please just go ahead and ask. Yeah, in the chat room. Hope we are all okay. Are we okay for now? You can just say yes or no in the chat box. Yeah, to knock you actually, so that I can know that actually you are following. Yeah. All right. Chitimbo says they are very okay. Yeah, which is nice. All right, let's continue. Okay. There is you, of course, you have heard of concepts relating to, yeah, and maybe one thing I'd forgotten to mention, variable names. If at all your name maybe consists of two values, maybe it instead of camel casing, for us, we just use underscores, maybe name of school, something like that. Yeah. Then something. Yeah, something like that for variables. Then I think for functions, it's still the same. And then for classes, it is camel casing. Yeah, but I'll have to I'll have to get back to you on that. Yeah, but so don't be surprised when you find people writing variable names like that. Okay. All right. We shall talk more about things to do with scope. I know you guys in most of the languages you know about scope. Yeah, basically here we have I think there is a rule for defining scope here. There is L, E, G, and then B. L standing for local, standing for local scope. Local scope is scope in a function. Yeah. Enclosing scope, there is enclosing scope. Yeah, that is for a function, enclosing a function. Yeah. And then we have global scope. Yeah. Now global scope, like if at all I highlight this, all this is in the global scope. Yeah. And then there is the built-in. Yeah. Basically the local, the local, if at all maybe there is a variable that your program is, or there is an object that your program is looking for, it will first look inside the function. If it is not there, it will look in the enclosing function. If it is not there, it will look in the global. If it isn't there, then it will look in the built-in scope. Yeah, exactly. So it goes on transversing those until it gets to your to your kind of like variable or object. And if it doesn't get it, that's when the name error suffices. Okay. Okay. Getting down to data types. The inbuilt data types, we can try to look at those. The ones, actually it's like the normal ones you guys know. Maybe I can start with the number types. The number types, we have integers, and we have booleans, Okay. Yeah, of course, integers are positive numbers on the plus and the minus. Usually, the range of your, I think for Python, the range of the integers you can store only depends on the amount of memory you have, or should I say RAM. Now, if at all I have my number here is equals to maybe 23. If I try to print out the type, the type of my number, yes, I should have something like yeah, wait, I mean type. Yeah, so if I print out the type, yeah, you see you have class my int, something like that. Yeah, if for whatever reason you have maybe a string called this, as long as it is in quotes, of course, it's a what? It's a string. But if at all you have a string that you want to coerce into an integer, you just kind of like use it's called the int constructor, and then you can actually coerce it to a string. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then with booleans have two values. Maybe let me see, my bool, it can either be true with a capital T, or it can have false. Yeah, depending, or false. Yeah, but actually one thing you should know is that booleans are subclasses of integers. Yeah, so if at all I give or take, if at all I have I have my number here, and I try to print, if at all I try to print my number plus maybe true. Yeah, true is 1 and false is 0. Yeah, so if at all I try to print that, so this true will be coerced into an integer, and the addition will be made. That's why you say instead of 24, I have instead of 23, now I have 24. And if it is false, then it should remain 23, because false is 0. Yeah, and the same goes to booleans. There is a bool that is used to kind of like coerce something into a boolean. Yeah, another number type that I have to mention is float. Yeah, floats, of course, those are the ones with decimal, and again, each type kind of like has a corresponding method. Yeah, then we also have complex. Yeah, yeah, but mostly we shall use, of course, we shall use the floats, we shall use the booleans, and we shall use yeah, mostly for numbers we shall use we shall use those three: integers, floats, and booleans. So we also have the floats. All right. Yes, are we okay as per now? So Reno is saying, is it only limited to underscores for the variable names? Yeah, mostly, yeah, with variable names, yeah, underscores are I used extensively in case a variable name has more than one word. Yeah. All right. Let's continue to look at some more. Yeah. Then we have sequences. Yeah, sequences. For sequence types, let me see sequences. For sequence types, we have someone had dropped out. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yes, Johnny, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine.
Hey, you are late, but just mute the microphone and we continue.
All right.
Yeah, we have just been looking at the basics of Python. Just as you can see here, we have been trying to kind of like relate what the types here and the ones that basically are being used, or that we can use to write our Python programs. And we have so far looked at the number types that include integers, booleans, and floats. Then we are looking at the sequence types. Actually, let's actually first look at the immutable sequence types. Yeah, with immutable, that means they can't be changed. Yeah, they can't be changed in one way or the other. Now, like, we can start looking at the strings first, the ones you saw, the str. Just like here, I remember we defined a name here called Tom. Yeah, so let me just bring maybe this Tom down here. Yeah, for some reason, if at all we try to say, okay, name at value. By the way, something similar to what actually other languages give, as in it is the zero indexing. Yeah, so if at all we want to remove the value, if at all we want to index the value t, it is at position 0, position 1, position 2. Okay. Yeah, now the thing is, for this string to qualify that it is immutable, or you can't change the original string, I want to try to change what is in position 0, the capital T. Then it's at position 0. Then I can say, actually, I don't have to put these quotations. Yeah. Then I will say, okay, that thing at position 0. Let me actually first print what is at position 0, so that we can be actually sure that it's actually what should be there. Yeah. If I try to print what is the yeah, I have t. I have this t. You see here. So now, what if I say, okay, I don't like that t. Let me do what? Let me change the t to maybe a y for some reason. Or since it's a string, a y. Okay. If I try to print, I will get a type error. And this type error, please note very much these errors, because actually they are used to catch what? Exceptions. Yeah. So it is saying that str object does not support item assignment. Yeah, that means you can't assign. If at all we wanted to do this assignment, how do you think we'll do this assignment? Any takers on this small assignment? If at all we wanted to change Tom to Y or M, anyone guess how we can achieve that? Any takers?
Yeah.
How do we handle it?
Since it's a string, you could use the string methods that are available in Python. There's a method called replace.
Dot replace.
Yeah, replace the first index with what you want.
So I put T here, right?
Let me see. Yeah, you can do.
I put the position.
Yes, because you said you want to replace the first position, isn't it?
So I put
So
0.
you say name. No, you say name, then angle bracket. First put name. Name, right? The name. Then like the array, you know those brackets of the arrays, eh? Then you can put what you want to
my
replace
string
it
here.
with.
Okay, I want to put Y.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try to print name here and see what we have afterwards, right?
That's my guess.
Yeah, but you see still the value of name remains stored.
What you're supposed to do is you said name is equals to that name dot replace.
Okay, yeah. So it is. So what this one is? Okay, let's first try to run this and see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the good thing, maybe what I forgot to mention, whatever is on the right of the equal sign is evaluated before it is assigned to the left. Yeah. So it's like you're getting the and mind you, that means we are pointing name to still a different object. Yeah. That's one thing you should know, because last time when you tried changing, when you didn't assign and you tried changing this, it actually created a new string, but since we didn't store it in any variable, it was dropped here. The thing is, whatever you do, you can't change this string, but instead of changing, you actually create another string. Yeah. In that kind of scenario. The other way you would have done it that is a bit rudimentary. Maybe you would have done, okay, name name is equals to you get the value of name at 0, then plus the value of name from position 1, yeah, to the last position. Let's try to wait. Okay, no, it's like you get the string you want here. Okay, let me say JJ. Yeah. So it's like you get the value because we want this value at the beginning, yeah, and then plus a substring that starts from position 1. So position 1 will start from 0 up to the end. Yeah. This is a notion for creating substrings. So if I told you try to print name, if you want to print name, yes, so we have JJ or M. Yeah, this is but replace of course is better because it's shorter. Yeah. All right, hope I still have everyone. Stella Niger here was saying that on her end it's not okay. Please specify what is not okay. Yeah, it will help us help you better. Yeah, if we know what is not okay. All right. Yeah, but if at all you have any questions, please drop them down here, and as we continue. Yeah, thank you. All right. So another immutable type apart from string is a tuple. Yeah, is a tuple. All right. And tuples, they're kind of like okay, let me just say my tuple. My tuple is if at all I have something like that, 1, 3, 4. Yeah, they are kind of like what you can call, I think in JavaScript, I think they are also called arrays or lists. I don't know. Yeah, but in Python they are called lists. But basically, when I try to say print the type of my tuple, oh, I forgot the comma here since I left a space. Yeah, it says it's of class tuple. Yeah, but basically the tuple, I could compare it with a string or an array in another language, but this time, this one, the members can't change. The members there are the members that will be there till time memorial. Yeah, kind of something like that. Tuples, they help so much with I think multiple assignments. Now, like if at all I have my tuple here, my tuple equaling to maybe 1, 2, and 3. If at all I print maybe 3, I should have something. Okay, it is saying that none of those is assigned. Basically, they help with multiple assignment. Yeah, but I'll have to get a better example here. It is saying that okay, it is saying, actually it has to be the other way around. It has to be the other way around. My tuple. Yeah, exactly. So it's like I'm creating, I have 3 variables here, 1, 2, and 3, and I'm equating them to one tuple. Yeah, so the one at position 1 will be assigned this value, position 2 will be assigned this value, and position 3 will be assigned this value. If at all by any chance I think there is a value you don't want to unpack, I think you can use the underscore to ignore it, and I think it will still work. Oh, it actually did. Yeah, but yeah, actually this works when you are in the, I think when you are in a shell or a terminal. Yeah, but usually the number of values here, the number of variables here should be equal to the number of members inside here for this to work. All right. Yeah, we shall also see more about tuples with regards to unpacking. Yeah, to unpacking, if at all maybe your especially with functions that kind of like will be used to receive arbitrary number of positional arguments, you could use a tuple for that. Yeah, but we shall see as time goes on. All right. Yeah, so in a nutshell, you can say these two are the immutable sequences that we shall be using. And with sequences, they kind of like they have some methods that they share all around. Now, like there is len, yeah, and also that the kind of like the square bracket notation. If at all you want one value from a single position, you can still use them. The one that we tried to use above here, yes. And then the len, of course, the len function will give you the length of that tuple or that string. It's just by counting all these you'll get what you need. So now, like if at all I say len of name, I try to print this, I should have something. Yes, I think I should have something there. Yes, name is 4 because our new name actually it is J or M, which is 1 2 3 4. Okay. Yeah. Moving on to mutable sequences. Mutable sequences. I think for mutable sequences we have there are very many, but the ones that we shall be using, we have lists. Then we have also sets. Yeah, lists and sets are actually like tuples, but the only difference is with lists they are no repetitive as in values don't repeat each other. Okay, supposing we have this tuple that has 5 2 times, and then we want to convert it to a list. We can try to print here. I mean, we want to convert it into a set, so we shall use the set function here to put in my tuple. Yes, and let's try to see the output. You'll find that the output, wait, oh okay, by adding 5 we actually created another another error down there with regards to unpacking. Yeah, but okay, now it is 155. Okay, yeah, so if I will try to run this again, you will find that the set has 1 and 5. It has omitted 1 5. Yeah, exactly. Yes, so because the values in a set they don't repeat, they are unique. Yeah, kind of in such a way. Yeah, and with lists and sets, most of the other functions they actually do share with other sequences, as we shall see. Yeah, but they are yeah, you'll see others as time goes on. Okay. Do you have any questions so far? Are we okay to continue? Members, are we okay? Hope we are okay. All right. Yeah, Stella says we are okay. Fantastic. The last type I would like to look at before we kind of like try to wrap up this is the dictionary, my dictionary, something like that. For a dictionary, it's kind of like has the same structure like the set in form of those curly braces. Yeah, but for it it contains key value pairs. Now, like it can have one here and then and then the value, the key and the value. key value kind of yeah, then separated by a comma, then you can put others. Hobby maybe, yeah, and the values can be any other types. They can be lists, they can be another dictionary, they can be a set, they can be a what. But for the keys, I advise you to mostly use strings. Yeah. Basically, not necessarily strings, but mutable data types. They make up the best keys, but mostly you'll see keys being strings. Okay, maybe jogging here. All right. So if at all I want to access, maybe the hobby, I can just say print, then my dict, then you put in the what, the hobby, and then you put in the key, and then you get your value, just like that. To add a new kind of like item to the dictionary, just give it a, maybe let me say first name, then you equate it to something like that. So if at all we try to print out our whole dictionary, it should have that new value. Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, it does. It does at the end. Yeah, which is good. Are we okay for now? Those are mostly the data types of the ones that we shall be using a lot. The ones that we shall be using a lot to kind of like work with Python. Can a dictionary allow duplicate values? Yeah, we can try out, but I don't think it can. Yeah, it's like you're saying duplicate keys. Yeah. So if at all I come here on line 33 and I'm like, okay, name is equals to this, it will actually replace Joe. Yeah, it will actually replace Joe, just like we're going to see here. Yeah. So instead of Joe, you can have this. Yeah, but for the values, it can be anything. Yeah, for the values, of course, you know the values. As long as, because since a value will be accessed by a different object, yeah, so you can have as many values as you want that looks the same. And the good thing is like they will be pointing to what, to a different object, or they will be pointing to a different, yeah, it will be a different namespace pointing to them. Yeah. Okay. Hope I've answered you there. All right. With conditional statements, yeah, the normal conditional statements we know. Yeah, but one that is being used a lot, that we shall be using a lot, is the if. If some condition, okay, maybe I can try to, okay, let me create a variable called my age. By the I'm turning 102 next month. So birthday gifts are in order. Okay, so if my age, okay, so if my age is less than 200, yeah, you do something. print. Okay, you are still young. All right, then maybe else I can print you are getting old. Yeah, let's see what this brings. It's the same. Yeah, you're getting, yeah. If at all you have other statements, you can put them down here in the mix. Instead of else if, here we use elif. Yeah, elif, and then my age maybe it's less than 250. Then we print maybe you are an adult, something like that. And maybe let's change this to around 220. Yeah, you're an adult. Exactly, yeah. So just like the other languages, basically it's the if that we shall be using a lot. Yeah, maybe when we will see it today in action, based on how fast we go. Loops we usually have. We have the while, and we have the for. But we shall be using the for more. For now, especially now, like we want to look through. Suppose I want to look through my tuple here. I could say for item in my tuple. Basically, the for loop is very good with looping through sequences. Yeah, looping through sequences. Yeah. So I have my tuple here. And then print item. Okay, now it should have our numbers here, 155 exactly. Yeah, actually it can loop through everything. That is, it has looped through the tuple. If we have a list somewhere, yeah, lists and tuples, they're almost the same. It will loop through sets. It will loop through a string. We have a string here. We have a string called I think name is a string. Yeah. So as it loops through, yeah, JOM. Yeah. Then we have it can loop through a string. Now we have this dictionary. I think we have a dictionary here. It's called myDict. Let's try to loop through it. myDict. If I told you want to loop through a dictionary, you have to be specific. Either you want to loop through either the keys or the values. Yeah, but you can also still loop through both. Okay. Now, so changing that to keys, we have name, hobby. All right. Then changing this to values, we have Tom and jogging. Yeah. So usually there was kind of like the way people used to do it. They would be like they look through the keys, and as they look through the keys, they come here and they say myDict, then they do something like that. Yeah, and then the first value, of course, is item. If at all they wanted to print both the key and the value, yeah, so name, Toma, then blah blah, just like the way you see it here. But I think there is even a better way of doing this. What you do, you there is a function called there's a function called enumerate. Yeah, this function will take in, I think, yeah, it will take in the whole what, the whole dictionary. Yeah, and then hopefully it works. And then it is, so maybe here we can say key comma value. Yeah, then you can just replace this with key and then value. Okay, wait, actually I don't think it's enumerate. Enumerate works with lists. With the lists, yeah. Enumerate works with lists. I remember. Yeah, enumerate works with lists. If I don't want to print out the what, the position and the key and the value. Let me try to see if I can remember the one of the. Oh. Oh, that Estella is back. Estella, was it internet issues? Johnny is asking what about else if. I think I showed you else if down here. We use if instead. Yeah, we don't want to use a lot of words. Yeah, because actually Python has to be like English. Yeah, that's why even you see we use things like, we use keywords like and or anything. Yeah, the good thing you find all those in the documentation, the one I've shared. Yeah, but I'm still forgetting. Maybe if there is any one of you that remembers, there is a method that, if at all I want both the key and the value, that I use, but I've forgotten. But if I do, I'll definitely let you know. No, yeah, this won't work. Yeah, but I'll try to remember it. Okay. Basically, the last bit maybe you can look at, that is, there is functions. Yeah, functions. For functions, we just basically, functions, they help us kind of like let me delete this. Okay, maybe let me keep this module. Let me just create another one. Hello2.py. Okay, here we can define functions. Functions, we define them using def as the keyword. Maybe let's say hello. Then maybe we have let's just start it off with should I call it argument, parameter? Okay, and then print greeting. Yes, just like other languages, after defining something, then okay. Yeah, like other languages, I was saying, after after defining, then let me say audio tier. Yes. Let me try running it. Python hello 2. Yeah, and we get that. Yeah. So this is assigned to this at runtime, blah 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 blah. Exactly. So actually, if at all we try to print greeting outside here, I won't get it because it can only be found in the what? In the local scope. That's why you're finding name error. Greeting is not defined because greeting is only defined inside here, right? Yeah. So basically, greeting here is in the local scope. Yeah. So unless we have one inside here that is in the global scope, that would kind of like, or actually we can declare one here. Greeting is equals to, I know some French, bonjour. All right, hope is the right spelling. Yeah, so we can say maybe let me say global greeting, and here I'll put local greeting. Yes. Yeah, so you see local greeting says Oliotia. Then global says bonjour. Yes, it's because this one the way this one is in the global, but since there is also another one defined in the what, in the local, so it was what, it was kind of like it shadowed this one. Yes. So if at all we want our function, to use the global, we can remove this, because if at all we leave it there and we try to call it without putting it there, then this will yell at us. So yeah, we can try to do that. Exactly. Yes. So this one inside, it will check inside here. It will realize it doesn't have the what, the local what, the local scope. So it will check into the next scope, and this time around the next scope is the global scope. Better yet, we can even take this function into we can take it to another level. Def, maybe you can call it outer greeting. Okay. Yes. So inside here, in the outer greeting, maybe you have another variable called greeting. Which other greeting do I know? Sava. Okay. Sava bien. Okay. That one can work. I remembered one. Agandi for the people in the east. Yeah. Hey, one thing I'd forgotten to measure, to talk to you guys about, scope. Scope in Python is actually defined by this type of spacing. Yeah, and the good thing with VS Code, it actually it kind of like automatically helps us to standardize this spacing. Yeah, but usually I think it is 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, but usually instead of leaving it to chance, I just press enter so that Python can help me do that. Then so what I'm gonna do, I'm instead going to call, say hello from inside here. Yes, I'm going to call say, and then for the forgotten this. Then for the outer greeting, I'll call it from there. Yeah. So basically, so now we have the local, we have the enclosing because it is inside another function. Then we have the global. The only one we don't have is the inbuilt, is the built-in. Let's see what this gives us exactly. Yeah. So on line 8, when we called it on line 10, it checked inside. Yeah, since it was not given, so it was not defined inside here in the local scope, so it tried to check in the enclosing scope. When it got it in the enclosing scope, yeah, it did the needful. But if at all even this one in the enclosing scope wasn't there, so it is going to check here. It won't get it. It will check into the enclosing. It won't get it. It will end up checking into the global. If it doesn't get it in the global, then it will check into the inbuilts, and we are sure since it's not in the inbuilts, there will be an an M error somewhere. Yes, so let's try to. Yeah, so yeah, it used bonjour here. Okay, now for some reason, let's comment out bonjour, that greeting on line 1, but also let's comment out line 13. Now let's see which error we get. Yeah, we get an M error because it is not defined. Since it first checked the local, it checked the enclosing, it checked the global, it was not there, so it decided to raise an error. Yeah. So basically, with regards to functions, we shall see others as time goes on. Yeah, but I think we saw a little bit of parameters, and now like there are also issues whereby parameters are they are given a default value even if one is not given. Now like this one, I think it should work. Yes, it should work. Yes. The last concept that I see will be very important. Of course, it's the classes. Yeah. Do you have any questions with regards to functions as time goes on? All right. Yeah, I see. Actually, we are far beyond time. Let me stop the lesson here, and we shall cover classes next time. Yeah, so that yeah, after the classes, then we shall definitely start with Django. All right.